If you're wondering what is selling right now when it comes to vintage clothes, I have got you covered in this video. I'm going to show you 96 vintage items that are selling right now. If you're new here, then welcome to the channel. My name is Lee and I'm a stay-at-home mom of four. I've made well over $100,000 flipping used clothes and other items on sites like eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. And now I'm on a mission to help at least 1,000 resellers be able to hit that $100,000 mark out for themselves. To help you out, I've got a ton of free goodies for you. You'll find them down here in the description below this video. This is where you're going to find things like my best brands list, the list of 150 brands that has led me to that $100,000 mark and beyond. You're also going to find a link to sign up for my free $100,000 reseller challenge. In this free challenge, I show you exactly how to reach $100,000 for yourself this year and how to do it in part-time hours, very minimal time. In that free challenge, you're also going to discover the very best things to be selling right now in today's market. All right, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started with today's video. First up, we've got a Nike backpack. This is bright orange, and this one sold for $50. This one is a pair of paratrooper cargo pants. It's from a brand called APCO. It doesn't have the best shot of the tag. It just has this material tag and size tag there, but there's what those pants look like. And then those sold for $45. You're going to see up here vintage as well as baggy cargo streetwear Y2K that they used for their keywords. This is another similar pair of pants that sold from the brand Bum Equipment. And there's what those pants look like. Those sold for $48, almost $49 for those, again, baggy, and 90s that they used for their style keywords. This is a brand that's called Back to Earth, and it is hand dyed, printed in the USA. That's what that tag says. It is an all over print. This one happens to have a cougar on it. And they did use in the title that it is the mountain style. So that's another brand that they're referring to. I'll show you here in a second. But this shirt sold for $36. And a couple housekeeping items. These are sold items. You're going to see sold across a picture. And then you're going to see or best offer. But I've hand selected only to show you items that a best offer was not accepted on. So they did sell for full price. I believe in the lineup for today, I do have one where a best offer was accepted, and I will show you what that price was for the best offer. Now here is this brand that's called the Mountain, and these are sold items. So if you do happen to come across the Mountain brand shirt, these are pretty good items to be selling. For example, here's a wolf here. That one sold for $30. Got a Yeti for $34. Some more, specialty like the Grateful Dead. That one sold for $150. They definitely kind of have that tie-dye all over print for some of them. But it's one to be aware of. This is a Cranbrook, and you're going to see here that it is 30% wool, completely washable. And then that's what that shirt looks like. That one sold for $45. And then this is a LL Bean women's jacket. There's what the tag looks like for you. And then this is what the jacket looks like. So it's got the contrasting color and cuffs, and it is floral print. So definitely a more interesting style. That one sold for $90 for that chore coat. This is from Rain Spooner, so there's the tag there, and then this is what the shirt looks like. It's just a Hawaiian button-up, and that one sold for $52. So it is a reverse weave. You're going to see that there in the title, and it is a 3XL, so that can help you get more money for your items when you go for those bigger sizes. This is a Little Mermaid duffel bag. And then that one sold for $35. By the way, all of the sales that you're seeing happened this morning. As I first woke up, I pulled all of these. So these are just in the first few hours of the day, some vintage items that are selling. There's lots more than this. It was moving pretty quickly as far as the vintage sales that were coming in. And then this is a Dana Buckman women's blazer. There's what that blazer looks like, floral. And then that one sold for $40. You're going to see some good keywords in here, just calling out what is on the jacket, like poppies, floral. Again, all of those physical keywords are good keywords in addition to style-based keywords. I do have a video where I go over popular style aesthetic keywords that are selling right now. I'm going to link to that up here. This is a jacket from a brand that is called Dunbrook. There's lots of this brand selling, or lots of others besides this brand selling is what I meant to say. This actually says Fred Meyer Challenge on the outside at the chest. There's what that jacket looks like. But if you come across jackets that kind of have this similar look with the contrasting sleeve, there's a real market for this style of jacket, no matter the brand. And this one sold for $45, but I've seen lots of these, even just random brands selling for closer to that $100 mark. This is a dress, and here's the brand tag from Halston. There's what that dress looks like. That one sold for almost $70, $69 right there. And then this is a jacket that's kind of a Carhartt style, but it's from the brand Key. And I do see a lot of resellers just tossing these because they'll see, okay, oh, it's not Carhartt. They toss it aside. There's what that jacket looks like. And then that one sold for, $48. So if you can pick it up for $5, still a pretty good turnaround to be able to make that amount of profit on it. This is another Rain Spooner men's button-up Hawaiian shirt. That one sold for almost $50. And then this is Harris Tweed. If you come across any of these labels where you see Harris Tweed, these are selling really well, and especially for what this one is. So this is a women's blazer. Typically, women's blazers can be a little bit hard to sell. They usually don't sell for very much money, but this one sold for almost $90 because it is Harris Tweed. This is a belt buckle. So this has got a cow on it. This is from Montana Silversmith. Let's see if I can get a little bit better view of what their marking looks like on that. So you're going to see that stamped into the back of the belt buckle, Montana Silversmith. And then that one sold for $90. I do want to mention my Big Money Brands belt guide because I go over things like this. It's the smallest of my Big Money brand guides, but it's probably one of the most valuable for what is inside. Just things like that belt buckle that you just saw, selling for $90. So check that out. I will leave that over here. This is a pair of really interesting pants. I had to pull these up. There's the tag for you. It says Wave Gods. It does say made in the USA, so that's a good reminder when it comes to vintage items. Look for those made in the USA. That's what those pants look like. While we're speaking of vintage and made in the USA, I get asked this every single video, so I'm just going to answer it here, that vintage is typically 20 years old and older. So I get asked that all the time, just want to throw that out there. So this pair of pants sold for almost $60. Got a jacket here. This is kind of just a random, it says MG is what that says on the tag, and then that's what that jacket looks like. It is quilted, and then they did use in their title Burberry look, which is a little bit kind of spamming because it's not Burberry brand, but they just used it because it has that kind of plaid, I think is why. And that one sold for almost $130. This is a vintage coat from Patagonia, so I'm going to go back to what that looks like there. And then that one sold for $120. This is a sweater from Blarney Woolen Mills. See if I can get a tag picture there, right there for you. And this is definitely a nice brand to look for, and really anything that you see like this. If you come across other sweaters, there's multiple different brands out there that make sweaters like this where it has that sort of cable look knit to it. It has more intricate design to that knitting pattern. These can sell for quite a bit of money. This one sold for $45, but a lot of times, these will sell for even more than that. This is another interesting sweater. And this one has sheep on it, countryside scene there. There's the back. And this is from a brand that's called Samantha Taylor. I'm going to show you some more here in a second of what these look like. And this is the one in the lineup for today's video where there was actually a best offer accepted here. So it was listed here for $46 and then a best offer was accepted. So I did go ahead and look this up. And this is this one right here. And then that sold for $32. And then this is that brand. So I went ahead and pulled up Samantha Taylor, and I wanted to point this out because that one sold for $32, but there's one that sold, just a couple months prior to that for $150. This was a large, and then this one was an extra large, so slightly different on the sizes. There's another ballerina one here that sold for $299.99. Another one here for $175. Another one for $99. So this can be a really good brand if you happen to come across this, especially with these more intricate designs. This is a men's button-up long sleeve shirt from Orvis. There's the tag there, and then there's what the front of the shirt looks like. That's actually a pop over, and then that one sold for $49. This is one from Stella Fagan, I believe is maybe how you say this. This is a robe, and this one sold for $195. If you're looking for accountability with your reselling business, the Empowered Reseller membership is where it's at. This is where I'm able to personally answer questions, interact with you. I'm able to even do things like store reviews, account reviews. You get access to live trainings, our supportive VIP community to help you reach all of your goals, as well as a huge course master vault. If that's something that interests you, you'll be able to find a link below this video where you can join, and we look forward to having you inside of our community. This next one is a Eddie Bauer men's button-up shirt. There's the tag there, and you're going to see here that it says made in the USA there on the materials tag. That's what that shirt looks like. That one sold for $50. This is an interesting tank top. I'm not sure how you say the name of this, and then you're going to see it's made in China. It's not even a made in the US item. It's kind of a crochet, open knit, as well as beaded tank top. And then that one sold for $35. You're seeing disco there as one of those keywords in the title. This is a Prince shirt. There's not a tag in the shirt, but I'm going to go ahead and show you what this looks like. There's Prince on the front, and then there's what the back looks like. And then that shirt sold for $80. You're going to see a lot of t-shirts in this video. This is a Faded Glory. So there's the Faded Glory tag for you. This is actually a women's jumper dress. And then that one sold for $35. So just because it's Faded Glory, you know, a Walmart brand, don't just toss those aside. Those can be some good money. This is a brand I'm not familiar with. It's called Allen B. And then here's the pair of pants. It's got some embroidery here on the side with a bird and flowers, a little bit of a flare to the leg. Those sold for $50, definitely from the Y2K era. Then this is an interesting one because it's Polo by Ralph Lauren. And then here's what it says: tennis on the back, polo on the front. And that one sold for $245. This is a t-shirt from Walt Disney World. So that's a good reminder anytime you see Walt Disney World, Walt Disneyland, Disney parks, that's an indication that's going to be a better Disney item than just, you know, maybe a plain Disney tag that you might find at your local Walmart. This is what this one looks like. It's got Winnie the Pooh on the front, as well as tiger from Animal Kingdom, and then that one sold for $50. This is a Boston, I believe Boston Marathon t-shirt. There's what that looks like, or at least Boston, Boston Nike, and then there's the Nike tag, and it is made in the USA. There's what that shirt looks like again. That one sold for $95. This is another one of those kind of denim dresses. This one's long sleeve, not a jumper, but this says Landlubber, Boston, Massachusetts. Here's what the dress looks like. And that one sold for $70. So note that button up. That is a really popular style that people are after. This is a pair of jeans from the brand South Pole. There's what those look like. Again, embroidery on the pocket. That's big from around that Y2K era. And those sold for $80. They're also using Jinko as well as Y2K that I just mentioned there in the title, Jinko style. So again, a little bit more on the spamming side because it's not that brand. It just has that look. This is a Harley Davidson tank top. There's the tag there for you. And then there's what the front of this looks like. Now, what I want to point out with this, and you can see a little bit better on there, the amount of fading, there's the back of the shirt, the amount of fading that's on this tank top. This one sold for $135. You're going to see here in the title, it says sun faded. So that is something that people are after, and there's lots of sun faded items actually selling right now. So again, $135 for that. This is from Fox Racing. It's just a baseball cap, and then that one sold for $50. This is a pair of Tommy Hilfiger. You can make that out here at the top. And this is a pair of babies. Those are 12 to 18-month baby overalls. Those sold for $40. If you're looking for more vintage clothing, then you're going to want to check out my vintage clothing guide. I'm going to link to that over here. It goes into 150 different brands and vintage items to be on the lookout for. This is another Polo Ralph Lauren. So there's quite a few of these that are selling right now of this brand, a lot of different styles, but this is again from that Y2K era with that look across the front, that writing. That one sold for $50. This is a pair of Nike shoes. There is what the tag that is on the tongue of these shoes, and then there's the back of that tag. These are made in Taiwan, and I'm showing this because this is a big bolo item. These sold for quite a bit, and then those. This is what those shoes look like. Those actually sold for $598. This is a Betty Boop t-shirt. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on that tag there for you. Soft tee. You're going to see made in the USA. It's not, not about the brand with a lot of these t-shirts is what I want you to take away. This is what it looks like on the front of that t-shirt. That one sold for $70. This is a pair of Levi's women's jeans. You can see here 517. It's upside down, but you can make out made in USA. So that's one indication that this is an older item. And then just based off of the look of these, you can identify these as being from the 90s because they have heavy fading through the upper thigh as well as whiskering. So those light whisker marks there across the hip, that was really big in the 90s and, closer to the Y2K, like turn of the millennium era. Those sold for $50. This next one is from J.C. Penney. This is a brand called Town Craft. So you're going to see that there. And then J.C. Penney. And this is a button-up shirt. It looks like it's got maybe some cactus on it or some sort of plants, maybe trees with a house is what that is. But that's for $45. So don't just think that you have to stick with certain brands. That was a J.C. Penney's item that sold for almost $50, like $45. This is a t-shirt, Rolling Stones. And again, it does not matter so much about the tag. That's what the tag looks like. That's the back of the shirt, and then there's the front of the shirt. That one sold for $500. This next one is a pair of boots. This is from a brand called Dexter, and it says Shoemakers to America. That's what those boots look like. Those sold for $236, even with, a fair amount of wear to them. This next one does not have a label on it. And this is a needle point. You can see, I'm going to zoom in there quite a bit. The whole thing is covered in needlework, floral. And this bag sold for $140 without it being any sort of brand, but it does have some really good keywords to be able to describe that needlepoint, embroidered, floral. But bags can be a very profitable thing to sell, but it's really important to know how to describe them correctly. I do have a poster specifically that covers bags I will link to here. This next one is a varsity jacket, and it's from a brand that's called Holloway. There's the tag there. That's what the front of the jacket looks like. And then that one sold for almost $315. This is another t-shirt. It's from the brand Lee, and I'm not super familiar with what this is. It says Rizzo. Again, I'm not really sure. It does say Muppets. That one sold for $150. Another t-shirt here for you again. It says Cotton Expressions. Again, another random brand. This has Einstein on it, and then that sold for $49. This is a pair of Doc Martin sandals. So you can see the mark here on the inside, and then that's what those sandals look like. Those sold for $100. Again, Y2K there in the title. That's a really trending era right now, just referring to right around the late 90s, early 2000s is what, that Y2K is, if you're not familiar with that. This is 101 Dalmatian t-shirt. There's the tag there, and then that's what that looks like on the front. That one sold for $39. And then this one is a girdle. This is from Sears. So you can see that there on the tag, and then that's what that looks like. That one sold for $49. This is from Victoria's Secret. This is actually a two-piece robe as well as the nightgown underneath that, and then that sold for $90. This is a shirt from Wrangler. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on that for you. And then this is kind of a more interesting design. So this one did sell for a little bit more than just kind of maybe a standard Wrangler shirt, $55. They do have a style called the brush copper. Those will say on the tag. I did not see that on this one, but this kind of has a similar look. So they went ahead and used that. So $55 for that. This is a dress from Gunny Sacks. Did not get the best tag photo with this one, but you can make that out from the size tag. If you have seen these Gunny Sacks dresses before, there's what that looks like. And then that one sold for $145. These can sell for quite a bit, like into the thousands of dollars, depending on the style of those. This is a t-shirt from Space Jam. So there's the tag, Warner Brothers, Space Jam. There's what the front of the t-shirt looks like. That one sold for $100. This is another, cartoon t-shirt. This is from Looney Tune Babs Bunny. That one sold for $116. Another t-shirt here. This is from Hanes. There's the Hanes tag, and this is totally random. It says cow poke. It's got the cowboy, poking the cow there. That one sold for $85. And lots of t-shirts are selling. This is from Jinko. This is a pair of shorts. That's what it looks like there. There's a dragon embroidered there on that cargo pocket, which dragon was really big. Dragons were really big around Y2K. So you're going to see Y2K again there in the title. And then those sold for $80. This is a military jacket, and this is what the tag looks like. If you haven't seen those before, it's definitely kind of a industrial looking tag. You're going to see Alpha Industries there on the tag. This one does have quite a bit of wear, so you're going to see some wear at the neck, wear at the cuffs, some more wear at the neck. And that's what that jacket looks like. This one sold for $200. This is a Teletubbies shirt. This is, long sleeve for a kid. That one's a size 4T. Sometimes eBay does this and the price disappears. So I did pull this up here, and that one sold for $75 with one bid on it. This is another one from Polo Ralph Lauren. There's the tag there. And I've mentioned bears being a good bolo if it's knit into that sweater, a bear as well as flags. But this is another one to be on the lookout for. This is a star, and that one sold for $450. If you're looking for other brands that sell for a lot of money, I've actually compiled them all inside of the most profitable brands. I'm going to link to that over here. This next one is from Sears. So you're going to see down here, Sears Roebuck & Co. Active Sportswear. And this is a men's jacket. That one sold for $88.50. I'm going to move through these next three items quickly, and these are all Victoria's Secret single panties. These are all brand new with tags. There's nothing weird going on here. This is a very reputable seller because these are older items. They're harder to come by. They're selling for a little bit more. So that sold for $35. Another one here for $35. Again, all new with tags. Another one here for $35. Everything else, by the way, I'm showing in this video is in pre-owned condition. This is a rugby shirt from Polo Ralph Lauren. You can see the tag there. That's what the back of the shirt looks like with that flag. And then there's the front of the shirt. Those rugby style shirts are really popular right now. That one sold for $68. This is a girl's vintage dress from Kathleen Scott. So there's the tag. This is what's called a full circle dress. So that means that you can lay it out. It's going to make a circle like that when you lay it like that. That's what the dress looks like. You can see all of just the intricacy of all of the ruffles, around the top as well as the bottom. And that sold for $94. This is an interesting one because this is from the brand Lee. It says Storm Rider, not the best tag photo there for you, made in the USA. This item is pretty well destroyed. You can see there in the lining that large tear. The sleeve cuffs are very well worn, like worn all the way through. That's what that jacket looks like. These are selling really, really fast, by the way. There is a really high demand, even with that heavy wear. That sold for $150. If you're looking for other items that sell fast, I'm going to link over here to my fastest selling brands guide. I've put everything that sells quickly, has a high sell-through rate in that guide for you. This is a pair of vintage Levi's pants from approximately the 1970s. This is what the tag looks like on the inside, and this is what's called Stay Pressed. So it has a crease down the front of the leg like that. I had a pair of these back in high school. They were vintage then, but these are from the 70s. Those sold for $80. This is another Polo Ralph Lauren item. Again, you're seeing quite a few of these selling. This is button-up shirt. That one sold for $50. This is a really interesting one because it's kind of a patchwork style. There's the tag there, made in the USA. And then that one sold for $140. This is another t-shirt. This is from Hanes. So you can see that there. It's not made in the USA. It says assembled in Mexico. And this is NASCAR. That's what the shirt looks like on the front. There's the back for you. That one sold for $50. This is another one from Ralph Lauren. There's the front of the shirt. This is a men's polo. That one sold for $47. And then this is one from Sugar Street Weavers. So there's the tag there. And then all of their items are woven. And so I'm going to see if I can get a little bit better on the weaving there for you so you can see that weave. It's a very, tight weave. They have very unique items. This one has rabbits on it. It has beets and carrots. So definitely like a gardening theme. That would be they did use garden there in the title as one of their keywords. And then that sold for $45, but lots of these are selling for a lot more. You can see, how they appeal to a certain type of person, maybe somebody who's into gardening, bought that. This one is from Russell Athletic, and this is just a zip up hoodie. It does have some stains on it. So you can see right here at the front, it's got some stains, it's got some spots. The pocket is torn. You can see the corner of the pocket's torn there. And then that one sold for $50, even in that condition, even for maybe a brand that's not typically on a brand list that you're looking for. This is another one from Lee. This is made in the USA. This is a denim snap shirt. That one sold for $100 and almost $10. This is Disney, another Disney item. This is made in the USA, so this isn't from Resort or Disney World or Disneyland, but it is made in the USA, so that does indicate that it's an older item. This has Donald Duck on it and sweatshirt. That one sold for $70. This is a girl's Oshkosh overall dress. Here's the tag here. This one is made in the USA. And there's what the overall dress looks like, floral print. That one sold for $150. This is from Sears. And you're going to see again, made in the USA there. Sears coverall. I feel like I'm on repeat saying that, made in the USA, but it really is a good indicator for quality items as well as vintage because there's not a lot of made in the USA items brands left. This one sold for $80, even with it being from Sears and not, Carhartt or some sort of bigger name like that. This is another t-shirt, Delta Pro Weight is the tag there. Can ignore those on the tag. It's really about what is on these. So this is the Dogfather. This is from Snoop Dogg. That one sold for $50. This is, again, another random tag. It just says Allison, but this has Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles across the front of it. Little kids sweatshirt for size 4T that sold for $35. This is a pair of pants from the Gap, and the Gap did make leather pants for a while, and there is a pretty good market for these. And this is what the pants look like. Those sold for $45. So you're seeing, flare leg there, which is pretty big right now. So 40, 45, $46 for those. This is a Carhartt item, and I've got the union tag there on the back of that. So if you flip that over, that's where you're going to find that union tag. There's what that Carhartt coat looks like, and that one sold for almost $109. This is a pair of sandals from the brand Candies. There's what they look like. Stack heel, block heel there, platform. Again, all good keywords to use in your listing as well as your description. Those sold for $55. This is another t-shirt, Screen Stars, made in the USA. You're seeing there. And this, all it says is Sony on the back. And then, Sony small there on the chest. That sold for $60. This is a vintage purse from Coach. And so you can see on the outside, it's pretty plain. And I find that a lot of resellers just pass these over because it doesn't have really anything on the outside that says it's Coach. You have to look at the inside, and that's where you're going to see a leather patch that has, and I'm going through these pictures here. They did not get a picture of this, but you're going to see a leather patch that has the number on it with that brand label. And then that sold for $120 with one bid on it. This is a t-shirt with the singer Aaliyah. And again, this is not about the brand. The label's actually cut out. There's actually a small hole there in the neckline, but it's about what's on it. That sold for $390. You're going to find items that are like this and other similar items inside of my pop culture guide, along with keywords to use that can really help you get more money for your item. For example, this t-shirt that sold for $6, and then when you're using the right keywords, $145, or a dress that sold for $9 with the right keywords, $65, a jacket that sold for $12 with the right keywords, $400. So I'm going to link over here to that guide. Extremely valuable to know what to look for when it comes to pop culture. This is a t-shirt, this is from Hanes, made in the USA, you're seeing there, and this is Led Zeppelin. That sold for $100. This is from Abercrombie and Fitch. It has that fur lining in that hoodie. That sold for about $50. I do believe that the seller could have gotten a lot more money using some of those pop culture keywords that they did not put in their title or description. They probably could have easily doubled or tripled or quadrupled even that selling price. This one is an interesting sweater from the eagle's eye. You can kind of make that tag out a little bit there, but this would really appeal to a teacher. You can see the apple there, a school bus. Here's the back of that sweater. That sold for $45. So a good reminder, anything unique, anything different, anything a little weird. I am going to link up here to a video if you have not watched that, where I go through weird items that are selling. It's very entertaining and also educational video, so I will link to that up here. This is another Rain Spooner men's shirt, and then that one sold for $90. So those last couple that you saw earlier in the video were right around $50, but that was $90. So this brand can be one that can sell for quite a bit more. There's even some items that are selling for into the hundreds of dollars. This is a kid's jacket. This is from Sears. Unfortunately, there's not a good tag with this one, but that did sell for $50. This is a men's cardigan jacket. You're going to notice on the tag, it's 100% alpaca, and it is made in Austria. So that's a good reminder that if you're seeing brands where it's made in a European country, those are often good items. So there's what that cardigan looks like. That one sold for $105. There's some good keywords that they could have added here, like grandpa core. If you're looking for keywords that sell and having a handy poster right at your listing station, I'm going to link over here to this resource, but it helps you get your titles written in a matter of a few seconds. And those keywords are really important with getting your items in front of the right buyer. This is an interesting one because this is a polo Ralph Lauren baseball hat. Looks pretty plain, but that one sold for $100. This is another Carhartt item, and there's that Union tag on the back. This is a jumpsuit that sold for $100. And this is a pair of pants. The brand is 8732, I believe is what that brand is. And it's got that skeleton there on the back pocket. That's what those look like. The back as well as the front, and those sold for $40. This is another brand item from the brand Lee, and this is a jacket, jean jacket with the Dodge Ram symbol on the back. There's the front of that jacket, and that sold for $60. This is another t-shirt from Sony. There's Sony there on the sleeve, and then Walkman on the front. That sold for $170. And then this one is from LL Bean. This is just a knit sweater, and that one sold for $80. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that you found this video helpful and that it helps you bring in more profitable sales. Go ahead and let me know in the comments what your most interesting vintage find is. I'd love to hear from you. And if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, as well as consider subscribing to the channel. I've got lots more amazing reseller content headed your way. Now, Y2K is one of the most popular trends right now when it comes to vintage clothing. And if you're looking to learn more about what to look for when it comes to those in-demand styles that are selling, you're going to want to watch this video. I will link to up here, where I go in depth of Y2K styles to be on the lookout for. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video soon.